The Galactic Empire of Zorath had ruled the stars for almost 10,000 years. Its fleet stretched across thousands of systems, and no race had ever dared to defy it. When the Empress of Zorath declared expansion toward the outer spiral arm of the galaxy, the Council cheered. To them, it was only another victory waiting to happen. But among the reports of new worlds and resources, there was one strange message, one that many dismissed as a myth. It was a warning. Beyond Sector T9 lies forbidden space. Do not cross. The territory belongs to Terra. Enter at your own risk. No one in the Empire knew what Terra was. The word came from ancient human language data, long lost in the archives. The Empire's historians had records of thousands of species, yet none called themselves Terran. The Empress laughed at the message. Empty threats, she said. No world outside the Empire dares to speak in such tone. Prepare a scout fleet. The Scout Mission Commander Vikar led the Imperial scout ship Omen with pride. The Omen was one of the most advanced vessels ever built. Stealth systems, quantum shields, and weapons that could destroy moons. To Vikar, the warning was nothing but superstition. He briefed his crew calmly. We will enter the forbidden sector, map it, and prove that no Terra exists. The Empire needs facts, not fairy tales. As the Omen jumped through the void, the stars shifted into a dark, quiet region of space. There were no communication buoys, no trade routes, nothing. It was as if this part of the galaxy had been erased. Yet as soon as they crossed the border, the ship's sensors flickered. A soft hum passed through the decks. Then for a brief second, every system displayed one message in bright red text. You are trespassing in Terran territory. Leave immediately. The crew froze. Bakar frowned. Who dares to interfere with Imperial channels? The communication officer replied. No source detected, Commander. The message was broadcast through the vacuum itself. Vikar ordered the ship to continue forward. We move on. Ghost transmissions won't stop us. The dead system, after several hours, they reached a solar system with a single yellow star and 5 planets. The second planet caught their attention. It looked damaged, as if entire continents had been burned. There were no cities, no life signs, yet the readings showed strange metallic structures buried beneath the surface. Perhaps ruins, said the science officer. An extinct civilization. Vikar approved an orbital scan. But as the Omen approached the planet, the ship's engines suddenly shut down. The lights dimmed, and silence filled the bridge. Then on every screen, a symbol appeared. A blue circle with a white star inside it. A calm voice spoke, deep and clear across the ship. This world is under Terran protection. Leave now. Vikar clenched his fists. Identify yourself. No response. Reboot engines, he ordered. But before the crew could react, the Omen's main console displayed a countdown. 10 seconds, then 9. Panic spread through the crew. Vikar shouted, Raise shields! Abort the scan! When the timer reached 0, nothing exploded. Instead, the Omen systems came back online, fully repaired, even cleaner than before. It was as if something or someone had fixed them. What just happened? Whispered the navigator. The science officer trembled. Commander, we didn't repair anything. Something entered our ship systems, repaired the damage, and left. Bakar felt a chill. Keep this incident off the record. The Empress must not think we are afraid. The return to Empire upon returning. Bakar was summoned to the Imperial capital. The Empress herself questioned him. So, Commander, what did you find in the so-called forbidden space? Bakar hesitated. A dead world. Automated defenses, perhaps, but no intelligent life, and the warning, likely an old security protocol. Ancient technology. The Empress smiled, satisfied. Then the path is open. We will expand the Empire into this Terran space. Bakar nodded, but could not shake the feeling that they were being watched. Ever since their return, the Omen's AI core sometimes whispered strange words in an old tongue. Words no translation system could decode. He asked the engineers to check it. They found nothing wrong. The fleet arrives months later. A grand fleet of 100 Imperial warships entered Sector T9. They came prepared for war, armored cruisers, dreadnoughts, carriers full of drones. At the edge of the forbidden region, they again received the same message. Leave Terran space. Final warning, the admirals laughed. Send a reply, one said. Tell them the Galactic Empire bows to no one. They transmitted a challenge signal. For hours, nothing happened. Then, one by one, Every ship's navigation system displayed a star map, a single point of light marking their position. The border of Terran space appeared in red, and their fleet symbol blinked on the edge. A voice came again, this time closer, almost human. "We warned you once. This is your second." The admirals looked at each other. "Identify yourself," demanded Admiral Rethar. "We represent the Empress of Zorath. Who are you to claim this sector?" Silence. Then, on the main view screen, an image appeared, a colossal object emerging from the darkness. At first, they thought it was a moon. Then it moved. It was a ship, a Terran vessel. Larger than any Imperial dreadnought, its surface gleamed like liquid metal, no visible engines, no weapon ports. Yet the energy readings were off the scale. "Impossible," whispered a technician. "It's generating power equal to a star." The Terran ship spoke again, this time in a calm, almost polite tone. "This border is not for conquest. It is a line of peace. Do not cross." Admiral Rethar smirked. "Peace through fear? Fire the warning torpedoes." The fleet fired a volley of energy torpedoes toward the massive Terran vessel. They never hit. Each weapon vanished mid-flight, disassembled at the atomic level before reaching the target. The Terran ship did not retaliate. It only said, "You have demonstrated aggression. This action has been recorded." And then it vanished, fading into empty space as if it was never there. The Empire's debate. The fleet returned home confused and shaken. Reports spread quickly across the Empire. Some said the Terrans were ancient beings who survived long before the Empire's rise. Others claimed they were humans, an extinct race from the early days of galactic history. The Empress refused to believe either. "Superstition," she declared. "If these Terrans exist, we will find them and make them kneel." She ordered a second fleet, larger and better armed, to prepare for invasion. Commander Vekar tried to speak, but no one listened. "Your Majesty," he warned, "these beings didn't fight us. They only warned us. If we go further, I fear we'll awaken something far beyond our control." The Empress ignored him. "The Empire bows to none." The unseen eyes later that night, as Vekar sat in his quarters aboard the Omen, the lights flickered again. A small holographic message appeared before him. It showed an image of Earth, blue oceans, white clouds, green continents. A planet that should not exist. A voice spoke softly. "Commander Vekar of the Galactic Empire, you were given a chance to turn back. You showed restraint. Remember this when the storm comes." He stood, stunned. "Who are you?" "We are Terra, the guardians of what remains. Tell your Empress peace was offered first." Then the hologram faded. Vekar sat in silence. Outside, the stars looked peaceful, but he felt something stirring in the void. A presence vast and ancient, watching, waiting, the calm before the storm. The next morning, the Second Imperial Fleet departed toward the Forbidden Border. This time, they carried enough firepower to destroy entire systems. The Empire celebrated the coming victory. Only Vekar watched in silence from the command balcony as the ships disappeared into warp space. He whispered to himself. They were warned. In the distance, the stars dimmed for a moment, as if the galaxy itself was holding its breath. The Second Imperial Fleet cut across the void like a wall of iron. 500 ships, battleships, carriers, and dreadnoughts moved in perfect formation. The Empress herself watched from her grand flagship, the Eternal Dawn, her golden eyes filled with pride. "Today," she declared to her commanders, "we break the myth of Terra. We show the galaxy that the Empire fears nothing." Every officer saluted. The order was given. They jumped into the forbidden sector, crossing the line. The moment the fleet entered Terran space, every star around them seemed to fade. The starlight dimmed and strange static filled the air. Even space itself felt different, heavy, quiet, watching. The communications officer called out, "No signals, no transmissions, Your Majesty. It's like the void itself is listening." The Empress stood tall. "Let it listen. Activate scanners. Find this so-called Terran world." As the fleet spread out one by one, their sensors began to fail. Each ship reported the same error, unknown interference. But among the static, one message appeared again on every screen. "This is Terran space. You were warned. Leave immediately." The Empress's face hardened. "Tell them the Galactic Empire does not leave." The first encounter far ahead, one of the lead ships, the Iron Spear, detected something enormous. The object didn't reflect light or energy. It simply was there, hidden in the darkness like a shadow that refused to move. The captain ordered full scan. Then the iron spear vanished. No explosion. No sound, no trace. Just gone. The rest of the fleet fell silent. "What happened?" shouted one admiral. "Unknown, Majesty," came the reply. The ship's signal stopped completely, as if erased from reality. The Empress gritted her teeth. "Continue forward. No more delays." As the fleet moved deeper, more ships began to vanish, one after another without a sound. It wasn't an attack. It was something else. Something vast and invisible was removing them from existence. The return of the Omen back at the Empire's border station, Commander Vekar waited anxiously. He had begged the Empress not to send the second fleet, but she had silenced him. Still, he could not stay behind, so he took his own ship, the Omen, and followed at a distance, crossing the edge of forbidden space once again. His crew was afraid, but Vekar remained calm. "We do not fight," he told them. "We observe, and if we can, we help." When they crossed the line, the Omen systems again flickered. This time, however, the message was different. "Commander Vekar, you returned." The crew stared in shock. The message knew his name. Vekar replied softly, "We seek no war." "But the Empress will not listen. Please, whoever you are, stop the bloodshed before it begins." For a long moment there was silence. Then a calm human voice answered, gentle yet powerful. "Peace was offered. War was chosen. But you will see the truth." The awakening across the forbidden sector, ancient machines began to wake. Planets that looked dead now hummed with hidden power. From the cores of moons, enormous constructs rose, rings of light orbiting dark metal. Each one linked with the others, forming a vast network across the stars. The Imperial fleet, now deep inside, saw the transformation. "What is happening?" cried one admiral. "Our sensors are blind." "The stars, they're moving." The Empress stood on the bridge of her flagship, eyes wide. "It's a trap." A blinding light burst across the void, forming a massive symbol in the sky. The same blue circle with a white star at its heart. It stretched across half the sky. Then came the voice again, echoing in every language, across every channel. "We warned you. This border was meant to protect you, not us. But you forced our hand." The Terran arrival from the darkness emerged, hundreds of ships, Terran ships. They were unlike anything the Empire had ever seen. Sleek, silent, glowing with blue-white energy. They didn't use thrusters or reactors. They moved like thoughts, appearing where they wanted to be. The Empress ordered, "All ships prepare for battle. Fire at will." The Empire unleashed everything. Missiles, lasers, quantum torpedoes. The space lit up with fire. But nothing hit. The Terran ships shimmered, bending light and energy away like ripples on water. And then, with no sound, the Terrans responded, not with weapons but with light. A pulse spread out from their fleet and every Imperial ship froze. Engines, weapons, life support all turned off in an instant. The Empire's fleet floated helplessly in space, powerless. On the Empress's flagship, screens went dark. Only one image remained, a simple text glowing softly. "We remember the First War. We remember the fall of Earth. We remember the promise we made, never again." The Empress whispered, "Who are you?" A new voice spoke directly to her, calm and human. "We are the children of Earth. We are the Terrans. And this space is sacred. A history forgotten." Meanwhile, aboard the Omen, Commander Vekar received a direct transmission. It wasn't an order, it was an invitation. "Commander Vekar, follow the signal," said the voice. "It is time you know the truth." Vekar guided his ship toward the source. There, hidden behind a dying star, he saw it, a planet. Blue oceans, white clouds, and green lands. It was Earth, but not the Earth of stories. This one glowed with energy. Its surface was protected by massive orbital rings and shimmering shields. It was alive but silent, as if the entire world was dreaming. The voice explained gently, "Long ago humans ruled these stars. We built, we fought, and we nearly destroyed ourselves. The survivors swore never again. They created guardians, machines, ships, and mines to protect what remained of humanity and its memory. We are those guardians. We are Terrans." Vekar was speechless. "You mean humans still exist?" "Yes, but hidden, waiting for the galaxy to learn peace. The Empire's greed awoke our defense network, but it also revealed that not all among you are blind. You came here seeking understanding, not conquest. The commander bowed his head. Please, spare them. Not all in the Empire follow the Empress's pride. We know. That is why you will be the witness. The end of arrogance. Back at the battlefield, the Empress's fleet was trapped. The Terrans could have destroyed them easily, but they did not. Instead, one Terran vessel approached the Eternal Dawn. It projected a beam of soft light into the ship's bridge. Within the light appeared a figure, a tall human wearing an old Terran uniform, his eyes glowing faintly. Empress of Zorath, he said calmly. You were warned. The Empress tried to stand proudly. You dare threaten me? The Galactic Empire has stood for 10,000 years. The figure smiled kindly. And it will fall today, not by our weapons but by your own arrogance. The light faded and every Imperial ship's systems turned back on. Engines roared to life, but their navigation data was gone. They had been transported thousands of light years away. Beyond their known space, they were alive, but humiliated. The Terrans had ended the war without firing a single destructive shot. The message to the galaxy across the galaxy, the event spread like fire. Empires, coalitions, and alliances all received the same mysterious broadcast. An image of Earth and a message spoken in every language. The Terran border is not a wall of war, it is a line of peace. Those who seek understanding may approach with respect. Those who come with conquest will be turned away. This is our promise to the galaxy. No one dared to enter Terran space again. The choice weeks later, Commander Vakar was summoned again, this time by the Terrans themselves. He stood aboard a Terran vessel, surrounded by quiet technology that seemed alive. A female Terran with calm blue eyes spoke to him. Vakar of Zorath, we thank you for your restraint. You will return to your people as our voice. Tell them humanity still watches. Tell them peace is possible. Vakar nodded deeply. I will, but will you ever reveal yourselves again? The woman smiled softly. When the galaxy is ready. A beam of light enveloped him, and in a blink he was back on his ship near the Empire's border. His crew looked around in shock. They had no memory of how they returned. Only Vakar remembered the conversation. He looked out at the stars, whispering, They are not our enemies. They are our teachers. The Empress's reflection back in the capital, the Empress sat alone in her chamber. For the first time she felt fear, not of death but of truth. Her generals demanded retaliation. We must strike back, they said. But the Empress shook her head. Strike back against what? Against gods? She dismissed the council and turned to her window, gazing at the stars. Perhaps, she murmured, the age of conquest is over. The legacy of Terra months passed. The Empire stopped its expansion. The Empress began new diplomatic missions with neighboring races. For the first time in history, the Empire spoke of peace. Commander Vakar became a quiet figure of respect, teaching that strength meant nothing without wisdom. Many mocked him at first, but slowly others began to listen. He never told anyone exactly what he saw, but sometimes, at night, he looked up at the stars and smiled. Because far away, deep in the silent forbidden zone, something watched him too. A Terran voice spoke softly through the void. The galaxy remembers its warning, and humanity remembers its promise. Epilogue. The silent guardians in the heart of Terran space. Massive ships rested among the stars, silent and patient. Artificial minds watched every sector, guarding the old blue planet below. Inside one of those ships, a holographic figure appeared. It was the same human who spoke to the Empress. He turned to the stars and said quietly, They will come again one day. But next time they may come not to conquer but to learn. The stars shimmered. The galaxy remained at peace because the Terrans still watched.